and welcome to this episode of Titan TV News. I'm your host, Sophia. With this being the first episode of November, we decided to focus on elections. We spoke today with Pembroke history teacher Mr. Hall to discuss the most recent congressional elections. And we also challenged Pembroke students to see how much they know about our government and Massachusetts politics. But before we start, let's go to school announcements. Titan TV's first AV Club meeting will take place on Tuesday, November 18th after school in the studio on the 3rd floor. If you have any questions, please email caroline@pactv.org. The NPES Holiday Festival will take place on Sunday, November 23rd, and volunteers are needed. Parents, please review the red flyer that was sent home in backpacks. The Halloween Candy Roundup raffle is now taking place. Any extra Halloween candy will be dropped off at Dr. Hollis and Dr. White's office until November 17th. The Halloween Candy Roundup will benefit the United Way of Greater Plymouth. Contact the dental office with any additional questions. PHS Winter Sports Night to meet coaches and receive registration assistance will be on Monday, November 17th at the high school, 6:30 p.m. Parents, please fill out your student's athlete registration online prior to the meeting if you can. The 6th grade musical is looking for anyone interested in trying out. The musical this year will be The Wizard of Oz, and anyone that is interested should contact Kelly Danner. The Hobbamock Turkey Trot date has been set for Saturday, November 15th at 9 a.m. There is still time to register. Please contact Lisa Nugent if interested. Bryantville is still hosting its Penny Drive to benefit the Pembroke Military Support Group. Please donate your loose change into the jar by the main office. Finally, to keep up with all of Pembroke School's announcements, please subscribe to the email blasts or follow your school on social media. The 2014 congressional election was held last week nationwide. The results were definitely noteworthy. We sat down with the high school government and politics teacher, Mr. Hall, to discuss the election, the state government, the late Mayor Menino, and what kind of impact this election had on both the state and its citizens.
Hi, my name is Brandon Hall. I'm the AP US government teacher here at Pembroke High School. The governor's race was interesting. I think leading up to yesterday, Tuesday, I don't think we expected to see the race become as close as it was. With Charlie Baker had, I think at one point, a 9-point lead over Martha Coakley, and then it got real close real fast in the last week. There was the story of Baker with the fishermen at the last debate, and then some news organizations kind of doing some digging and trying to find out if they could find this guy. And as he didn't turn up, people started to ask questions. I don't know if that was the reason why the lead shrunk, but it ended up being about a 40,000 vote difference between Baker and Coakley. If you look at the electoral maps, the results maps, Baker won the entire South Shore, with the exception of a town like Brockton. And then Coakley won Boston and Western Mass, but that was about it. It was pretty much split in that way. Coakley had basically all around Boston, which wasn't a surprise, pretty strongly too, 70–80%. And then as we get down here towards the South Shore, you see a lot more for Baker. And the South Shore tends to be a Republican stronghold for the state. I think with a Republican governor, it tends to be the rule as opposed to the exception in Massachusetts. We've seen it as far back, a few years ago, just with Mitt Romney, with Paul Cellucci. We've seen where we have a Republican governor, and we have a Republican governor, and we have a Democratic legislature, and the state legislature is like 75 or 85% Democrats. So what you get is a nice kind of check and balance between those two groups, so that we're not forcing through legislation. It's not being jammed through the state legislature. Massachusetts kind of has an interesting balance between Democrats and Republicans in that way. It's very rare that you see the Democratic governor like Deval Patrick and then the Democratic legislature. God, Tom Menino, the guy was a legend. It's 5-term mayor of Boston, which was unprecedented in and of itself. The way that he united a city that was always so many pockets of neighborhoods, to bring it all together. I remember when I first moved up here, I would ask, we had friends that lived in the city, and I would say, where do you live? And instead of saying Boston, they would say Dorchester or Southie or Eastie. And I think that Tom Menino really brought those little subunits together into one city. I think of the public works projects, the libraries, the infrastructure of the city, the whole big dig. I mean, where that's a federal and a state project, but it is happening right in the middle of his city. And of course, you can't forget Tom Menino for some of his foibles, but that all kind of made him who he was. From what I understand, and friends of mine that work in the government and that work directly with him, a really, really genuinely good person, and someone who truly loved the city of Boston.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, those who fell into the 18 to 24-year-old age bracket represented 16.5% of the voting population on average. Of that 16.5%, during the 2008 presidential election, only 52.7% were registered to vote, and 43.7% actually cast a ballot. And in 2010 congressional election, 40.4% were registered, and only 19.7% voted. In terms of those attending college versus those who did not, 55.9% of the college student population voted, while 28.6% of those who are not enrolled in college voted, representing a 27.3% difference in those continuing their education as opposed to those who did not. In the 2012 presidential election, 57% of this demographic expressed that they, in fact, cared about the election, while 39% did not. Finally, while statistically many young voters are Democratic in nature, the past few elections, both congressionally and presidential, have been close races, and that small margin of young voters could arguably be the deciding factor. In keeping with our election theme, this month's Man on the Street was more of a challenge for PHS students, testing their knowledge as to how much they know about our country, state, and local government and politics. MJ Baird took the halls to see just how knowledgeable our demographic is.
All right, we're back in the library with Adam Tripp. Adam, how you doing?
I'm alright. I'm kind of getting a cold, but...
Sorry to hear about that. All right, a couple questions for you. First, what would you consider your political affiliation to be?
Meaning Republican, Democrat?
Correct.
I mean, I'd have to say I'd be a Republican.
Undecided. Undecided, all right.
I'm personally registered as independent because I personally believe I don't want to side with any one side, Democrat or Republican, if I'm not going to 100% agree with what they're saying. So I like having the option.
Affiliation. I'm like on the fence. Like I'm not too sure where I am. I'm just right there.
You're in between?
Yeah, I'm in between.
Okay.
I would say I'm probably a Democrat, but I would say that the troubles that they're having in Congress right now, I'd say that I would accept just any progress if they can go across the aisle.
That's what I like to hear. Next, do you know the questions that were on the state ballot last week in the election?
No.
You don't know any of them? There's 4.
No, not even one.
I don't know. I believe one was about gas prices, though.
All right, that's correct. Yep, just one's fine.
I think one was about bottles and about having Gatorade or regular water bottles being 5 cents.
Right. Yep, that's correct.
And then I think one was about fixing roads. Is that right?
Close. It was about the gas tax, which in turn the revenue would fix the roads, but it was focused on the gas. You know the other two?
I can't even think of the other two.
Tax on bottle deposits, gambling in Massachusetts.
Correct.
There's something about sick days, but I personally...
Right.
Definitely the bottle deposit, expanding the bottle deposit. There was a question about the casinos, if yes or no. Actually, it was weird because no meant there could be casinos.
Right, that was a confusing question.
Yeah, and then there's one on the gas tax. I think that was about if they could change the gas tax yearly. And then also about sick time. I'm not exactly sure about that one.
Right, yeah, that was the last question. Just should employees get a certain amount of sick days if they work for a big company? Okay. So good job on that. Next question. Can you tell me who the president is of the United States?
Ooh, I cannot do that.
You can't?
I can't think of that.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
I'm pretty sure it's Barack Obama.
All right, how about the vice president?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
I have no clue.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
How about the mayor of Boston?
Was it something white?
It was Mayor Menino.
Do you know who the new mayor is?
I don't.
His name, no, I don't know.
No. What were you going to say? Do you know who the old mayor was?
Yeah, the old one is Coach Menino, but he's in a better place.
He is in a better place.
He died. Menino?
He died, Mayor Menino. All right.
Oh, wait. Was that what the election was the other day?
No, you're right. He died.
Thank God.
Marty Walsh.
Good answer. That's what I like to hear. First one to get that right today. What county is Pembroke in?
Plymouth County.
Plymouth?
Plymouth County.
Plymouth.
Okay, yeah, we live in Plymouth County. Okay, next. In your mind, what percent of students voted in the last election? Students being high school or college?
2%.
What percent?
Yeah.
65.
I was gonna guess like 30%, but that seems low.
I'm gonna say 25.
I would say around 30, maybe 40%. Voting average is a little low for our age group, though.
It's a good guess. It's about 53%.
53?
Yep.
That's better than I thought.
Next question. Who won the Civil War?
I want to say it was the North.
The Union.
The North, the Union.
The North.
Union.
When is Independence Day?
July.
July what?
Pretty sure it's the 4th of July.
July 4th.
July 4th?
Correct. Good job.
Dude, I'm gonna say the 12th.
All right, July 12th.
Or it's the 8th. What's 12th? 8th?
Okay, pick one.
Said July 4th.
That is July 4th.
12th?
All right. And
Is it not?
So last week, Barack Obama's golf game was insulted by a professional athlete. Who do you think that was?
I have no idea.
Tiger Woods?
I don't know.
Kobe Bryant.
Close, actually. It was a basketball player, but it was Michael Jordan.
Oh, I'm close.
World famous. Okay, the answer is world famous basketball player Michael Jordan.
He doesn't even do golf.
And last question. Can you sing for me the lyrics from the famous song from the movie Frozen?
I've never seen Frozen.
Do you know at least the name of the song?
Let it go.
That would be correct.
Oh
All
my
right.
God, I'm good
Thanks,
at this.
Brendan.
No problem.
Let it go.
Can you sing it for me?
Let it go. Let it go. That's all I know.
Good job, Adam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, I don't know that song.
Do you at least know what the name of it is?
Let it go.
Correct. All right. Thanks, Adriana.
You're welcome.
I'm not singing, but it's Let It Go.
All right. Good job. Thank you.
And I will always love you.
Nice voice, but that is not the exact song. It is Let It Go. But good job.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sam.
No problem.
This wraps up our election episode for Titan TV News. Remember to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and see this episode and more. I'm Sophia signing off. Thank you for watching this episode of Titan TV News.